Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of the GVGCast, where we get together and just chat, shoot the shit, talk with each, and say what we're playing, still talk about the news, and get into some patron topics as well. All kinds of fun stuff. However, I've currently been abandoned. John is asleep in the UK. How dare he get a restful night's sleep at 1 a.m. Meanwhile, everybody else is at PAX West. So I've decided to hold down the fort here with my good friend, the Golden Bolt, Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Good. I'm good. How are you guys doing in chat? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Yeah, no complaints. Happy to be here. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, always have a good time talking to you. It's just a good time. And I wanted somebody I was able to just have a nice conversation with. I can do it with most anybody who's like, I'm lazy and I'm comfortable. And it was reminded me of the old days of when I was at GX doing the Real Talk podcast, and I had to do some of those on my own. So, nice to have somebody to bounce off of. I'm being told your audio is a little low, so I'm going to raise that up just a bit.
Yeah, if you raise me up on Discord, it should be fine. I can move a little closer.
Yeah,
my mic's been giving me Discord issues lately, so.
Yeah, it's cool. We get you fixed. It's not uncommon for us to have issues. Again, we are just taking it easy this time. So, yeah. But yeah, how have you been? What you been playing, Kevin?
I've been good. I have mostly not been playing anything because I had to get a lot of work done during and after the charity event. So for those that don't know, Derrick, you were a part of it.
Yes.
The Charity versus Room event by the Charity Room crew. You can find them at twitter.com/thecharityroom, all that stuff. We do a big annual charity fundraising drive every year. And so that was most of the early part of my August. And then after that, I immediately got to work on some video stuff. And then Sony sent me The Last of Us 2 days before the reviews were supposed to go out. So I didn't sleep a little bit earlier this week.
I can't believe you got through that entire game in 2 days. Like, dear God.
Yeah. I didn't get through all of Left Behind. I got through most of it. But I did make it through the game in time for the review. And that's why I didn't care about the embargo. I just said I'm going to go up whenever I go up that day. They had an 11 a.m. I went up like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
so that's how it be.
It's fine. I mean, the thing is, it's a weird thing where I don't know if people are necessarily excited for The Last of Us.
I'm annoyed with the remake, not because it exists, but because it could have been more. I don't know. When they first leaked that there was a remake for the game, I was like, oh, that makes sense. They're going to add The Last of Us 2 gameplay into The Last of Us 1, the best of both worlds. It'll be a fun time. And then they didn't do that. And it's just The Last of Us 1 again, but with easier gameplay. So it's pretty. It looks good.
Yeah.
For the HBO show fans, it'll be fine. Don't know why it's out before the show, but hey.
I mean, maybe it'll be nice and cheap when it comes out. When it's actually the show's out and it's a big hit, it's like, oh, there we go. It's like, what do you want to see in later seasons? Here you go.
Yeah, it'll probably be a bundle. I think that's going to be the new bundle instead of Horizon, is they'll throw that in for right when HBO's show drops in, I think they said March, maybe. Yeah.
If it does well, we might see a Last of Us, remastered, Last of Us 2 Part 2 remastered on.
There's going to be a director's cut at some point.
Oh, of course.
I don't know. There's going to be, and I don't know when it's going to be, but probably after the multiplayer game. That's probably next year, I'm gonna guess. So,
does anybody care about the Last of Us multiplayer game? Like,
people loved the multiplayer of 1.
Oh, really? I've not. I came to it so late that I did not realize it was big.
Yeah, the multiplayer was A, really unique, and B, pretty fun outside of when they did the DLC. They made DLC guns, and that was like a late PS3 era kind of thing. And the DLC guns are close to pay to win because they're just better. They weren't balanced right, but it was cool because it was a little like meta game where by playing the multiplayer you would then have like your own village of people, and the challenges would be in the form of you need to win this match to get medicine so that your sick people don't die. The goal was to get to like 100 villagers and keep your village safe by playing the multiplayer. It was really unique. I actually liked that more than I liked the game the first time I played The Last of Us 1.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer game that I think that they're doing, my hunch is that it's The Division. They only showed one image off, but that's my like deep cut analysis of a single picture.
it makes sense. And if they went, what is it, live service games? I guess it makes sense to turn Last of Us into a live service game in that
Yeah.
vein is of the Division.
Yeah, like that's the only way I can see it is, PVE with some PvP, updated with new missions every now and then, big open world, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. Um, before I get into my Last of Us story, because I know we can keep talking about this, we do have a sponsor for, two of them, but the first of our sponsors today is the Game Orb. And the Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. In honor of the 20th anniversary of the North American launch of Super Mario Sunshine, the first part of the game will be uploaded by the end of the day. Also, look out for a video for the Splatoon 3 Splatfest world premiere in the next few days, so be sure to subscribe to the Game Orb at the link in the description. And we also have this lovely link that I'm going to post in the YouTube chat and pin so you can check them out. As always, very much appreciated having that support. Really does help a lot and means a lot. And I would absolutely be great if you guys could all check out the Game Orb and all of their content. So yeah, great stuff there. But let's talk about death, because The Last of Us killed my PS3. Not technically, but my PS3 died while I was playing Last of Us. I believe it was the scene where Joel gets injured.
Okay.
When that happens, the system just froze and would not eject my disc, nothing, just had no response whatsoever. My PS3 just outright died. It was the classic, the launch PS3. Yeah. And that was that. It sucked too, because I was, good more than halfway done with that game. And I simultaneously lost all of my save data from across everything.
Yeah.
It was all gone.
This would have probably been before PS Plus had the cloud saves to the same degree they do now. Because you only had, I think 10 megabytes of cloud save back then, which was probably close to enough for a lot of games, but whew, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, just all of my save files just gone. It was rough.
Yeah. I ran into that earlier. I was telling you a little off stream. But the context to it was earlier this year, my solid state drive died on me. We were streaming Mario Party with some of my friends, and the moment I went offline, my computer blue screened. Like, as soon as I went offline, it blue screened, and then I found out that the brand of SSD that I had bought had a known issue of sometimes just deciding to die early, and so I lost, thankfully, not much game footage. But I lost all my presets and everything. So now I have several externals next to me that back up every day and week and everything, so that I never lose anything again.
That hasn't happened to me yet, but if I lost all that, I'd be... Oof.
Yeah, it was close to a travesty, but thankfully I was usually pretty good about backing stuff up immediately, and most of my stuff wasn't on my solid state anyway.
Terrible at that. In fact, I need to actually go through before I start working on really get to work on my next retrospective. I need to clean out a lot of, I have so much junk built up because of getting images and gameplay and everything else from the last two. It's like, that's going to be a day. That's going to be a day of work, just cleaning that up and making sure I don't get rid of the wrong things. Cause you can't just click and drag. It's like, oh yeah, all of this folder, I can get rid of that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I was briefly good after that at keeping, full backups of the video editing file with all the files within, so that I had a full archive. That's expensive data wise, so I don't do that anymore. I should, but I don't. I have a safe permanent copy of all my videos, so I don't really care at this point. It's like whatever.
Yeah, that works. Real quick before we get too far in as well, we do have some super chats. First up from ABCD EFGH with $5. Thank you so much, saying, "Hey GVG, hope you're well. First time super chatting and figured I'd ask a basic question. What do you hope is the main color scheme for Persona 6? Do you play Persona, Kevin? I don't actually know.
I platinumed Persona 4 Golden earlier this year when I had COVID. So I played 4. I played Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I have copies behind me somewhere of 5 and 5 Royal still sealed. I'm going to keep them sealed because it's funny. Color scheme for Persona 6. What threes was blue, right?
Yeah,
Threes was like a
threes was
dark
blue,
blue.
fours was yellow, fives was red. I forget. I don't know the color schemes of 1 and 2, but
Yeah.
I mean, my first thought is green.
Green could work. Although that might convey a more natural vibe, which is kind of what 4 went for with the country, like
Yeah.
out of town, small village kind of thing. I was gonna say like a light purple, not because I'm wearing light purple, just that was the color that I thought of immediately. Was like, oh, you can finally do the velvet room in actual velvet color.
Yeah, not just be blue at all times. Yeah, I could see light purple. I don't.
That's Persona 1. Someone says in chat.
Oh, Persona 1 was green. Okay.
Yeah. Purple was
Purple, red, blue, yellow, then red again is the order. So
okay.
we could do purple again.
Yeah, fuck it. No one played Persona 1.
Yeah. That'll upset some people.
Name one person that played Persona 1 ever. Go. Yeah, that's right.
I think Matt from the Super Gaming Brothers did. I think I know Persona 2 is his favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt is definitely the big one for that one.
Yeah.
So I love there's a misconception for people with my retrospectives because I see Moon Rhoda in the live audience chat say Derrick did. So bit of a secret for you. I didn't play any of those games when it came to the retrospective. Unless I played previously, I have not played most of the games in my retrospectives because they're long RPGs. I don't have time for that. A lot of them are Japanese only. They're just not a thing. So it's me researching how do they play? What is the gameplay? Finding reviews, things like that, so I can get a sense of the gameplay and then convey it for the retrospective. And then finding wonderful people online who have played them and pulling from their footage to show you the game, which is why I have that lovely little credit in the bottom left to say, hey, check these people out if you want to see more of this game. But yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to think of gathering footage for all of those games would be.
I had an RPG series that I've been thinking about covering, which I could say it. It's probably not going to happen. Mass Effect, because I haven't played Mass Effect in years, and I thought about it, and I was like, I do kind of want to play Mass Effect again, and then I realized how much work was going to go into that, and so I have it sitting on my on my Game Pass download, and I don't think I'm going to start it anytime soon because I fear for my life.
It's a lot. it's a lot. Man, just thinking of playing through all the Xenoblade games for that retrospective. Like, dear God.
Yeah. I'm only like 20 hours into 3. That's just because of the charity event took a lot of my time up and then work.
Yeah, I'm only 4. I'm like super early into chapter 2. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm somewhere in 3. I did like every side thing I could find before I went to the main stuff of 3.
Oh, that'll be me.
So here's how it ends. No.
Hey, we're not that type of YouTuber. And that's its own little thing we're not going to talk about. But that's a mess.
We'll leave that where it is.
Yeah. Otherwise, for further super chats, Aramis Baramis, thank you very much for the $50 super chat. Holy cow. As always, as generous as ever, says, hey, GVG crew, have a great cast. And for those at PAX, hope you have a great time. Oh, they're definitely having a great time. I'm guaranteed we'll have all kinds of drinking stories from Steve when he gets back because he is a party animal.
Is he really?
Oh, God, yeah. Just industry events, it's just all these stories. It's like, oh my God, how is this man alive? That's really what it comes down to.
Man, that's great.
And then one more super chat, Master of Hamsters with $5. Thank you so much. Saying, hey guys, day 2 of COVID, and I gotta say, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. But I do feel miles better than I did this morning, and I'm not sweating everywhere. That's a good thing. As
that's very good.
I was asymptomatic with COVID and gave it to Amy. That was not fun. That was when it first started, and it hit her hard because it was right at the beginning. Yeah. And then I think I got a mild case eventually. I never fully confirmed it, and I just sort of stayed away because I did the whole loss of taste and smell thing.
Yeah, that's COVID. There's no way that's not COVID.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's one of those things that lasted for a little bit, but it didn't knock me down. I just didn't feel great and couldn't taste anything, which sucked.
Yeah. I got COVID earlier this year at the start of the year, so it was like 100% Omicron. So it was really bad for a couple days, and then I was just mostly tired, and I slept through most of it. So thankfully, I if there's a time to get COVID, I got it at one of the right times.
Yeah.
But then somehow I got a regular cold after too many games. Like I didn't get COVID, I didn't get con flu. I just had like my throat was sore for a couple days, and I tested COVID, and it wasn't COVID. So colds exist again. They're
Lovely.
not gone forever.
I still have that general fear of like, I don't feel good. Oh God, is it COVID? Oh God, is it this?
Yeah. Yeah. The worst part for COVID for me was I was editing. That was when I did my big Sly compilation video where I put my old videos together. I was editing that video together, and it was like late at night because I took a nap earlier in the day. Woke up with a sore throat. Didn't think anything of it. Thought maybe I just like slept with my mouth open or something, Partway through editing that video, I went from like okay to the worst of my COVID symptoms in the span of editing that. So I had like blistering headache, fever, lower back aches, and I'm just sitting at my computer right here editing in just agony. But I was like, I need to get this shit out.
That reminds me of when I lost my voice around the time of Kirby Triple Deluxe. I had a review coming out, and I could have given it to somebody else. Like I was fine otherwise. I just had no voice.
Yeah.
And I sent it off to, I could have sent it off for somebody else to record, but I loved this game. Like it had become my new favorite Kirby game at the time. It's now Planet Robobot, but still. But I had to record it. So that voice, I was croaky as all get out. Apologize for it, but I did it. Squeaked it out. Just me not having a voice doing that review. Yeah. Sometimes you go a bit far for these type of things.
It would have been funny if you had someone else record it, but it was your script though. Like that would have been a funny way to twist it, where like I've thought about that, where if I'm ever like sick enough that I can't record and I need to get a video out, I will absolutely have one of my buddies record my voiceover and just be like, hey, don't worry about it. It's him.
Just badly dub yourself over you reciting the lines.
Do a live shot specifically for that video.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh man.
Maybe it was during Planet Robobot that I was happening. One of the two, a Kirby game, one of those two, either Triple Deluxe or Planet Robobot. But yeah,
hold on, my camera's gonna do that thing where I go. It's a new camera setup, and it's gonna go to that every now and then. Apparently, I thought I fixed it, did not. So hi.
I thought we went to like the broadcast was done for the night.
God, no. For some reason that's just how I have an actual like DSLR camera that I have plugged in. And I had it working fine before my solid state drive crashed, and I can't get it to set up the same way anymore. So I have to plug it through an HDMI capture device.
Oh, those are unreliable. I did that for a while. Yeah. It sucked.
So I thought I had it fixed because I tested it for like 40 minutes earlier because I saw it was doing that. I thought I fixed it, and maybe turning it off and on broke it again. So whatever. It'll happen.
It happens. But either way, it's pretty much, I mean, otherwise I've been playing Soul Hackers, and it's just longer than I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was close, and it just keeps going. And I'm like, I think I have to not bail, but do less than I was planning to for it, and just get some impressions out there, talking about it. And because I'm already behind on when I wanted to start my next retrospective, so I'm going to be really switching focus to that here soon. Maybe do a little thing to talk about Soul Hackers. I mean, I didn't see the exact numbers, but I have seen that Soul Hackers 2 is so far the worst selling Devil Summoner game in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, it's so far after the prior ones, and I get why they tried, but I don't know. I think there's a point at which you gotta just bite the bullet and stick with main series SMT and Persona, and maybe just rock that.
I mean, it's nice to have something new, but I think to just call it Soul Hackers 2, I think that
didn't help. Yeah,
it took away all the name value.
Yeah, and given like that was a 5-title SMT game, so it makes sense that they wanted to cut something down, but then just call it SMT Soul Hackers 2. Like, at least get the Shin Megami Tensei name in there so people are like, oh, Persona, oh my god.
Yeah. Persona Devil Summoner. Just use that idea.
Yeah, like honestly, just switch everything to Persona : Shin Megami Tensei.
Perfect.
Piss everybody off.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Gotta love it. Well, before we get to the news for the week, we do have one more sponsor, the ever lovely Azran127. And this week, Azran wants to tell you about his album Remains, which features 12 original compositions for piano. But his friends did such a good describing it on their own podcast that Azran is just going to let them do the talking instead. So let's run that ad, as we do have a video for that, and get right to it.
I caught the live rendition of his album.
Yes.
Album Remains, and that thing was awesome. It was so cool because as he was playing it, he had Mandu sidelining in the chat where he dropped the track information. Even the way he was playing would lend itself to the ideas behind the music. Well, I really enjoyed it. Definitely, if you have a chance, definitely check out the VOD. That's at Azran127 on YouTube, Twitch. Definitely check it out.
Ace at Spotify too, I think, right, to go find that one.
And let me tell you, Chuck, I listened to the entire thing on Spotify, okay? And it was like the polished version of it. Some of the parts where he starts going like really fast, it's all like super clean in there, and it's like so intricate. I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool.
I totally missed it. I showed up. He said, all right, we're going to do the post show. And I was like, yeah, post show.
He does a little thing in his post shows where it's like, you name a song, and then he like figures it out in like a few seconds.
I've seen him do it. Like he'll kind of like figure out where certain notes are, and then he'll just go to town on it. And it's like, oh man,
dang.
It's also amazing to see him hammering that keyboard so much that the whole keyboard's like slightly inching to the side, and he has to like press down the keys and slide it back into place on occasion. It's action piano. Long short,
Follow him.
If you haven't already followed Azran or heard any of his actual creative talents, definitely check it out. That's Azran127 on just about any social media platform.
And we're back. Thank you so much, Azran. Really do appreciate the sponsorship, and definitely check out their stuff. You can find a link in the description. And let me get that. I can't pin two things, but I'm going to put it here. You should definitely check them out anyway, and give them a lot of love because they're great. They've been here for a long time. Honestly, I think almost as much as I think as much as Game Orb. They're just ubiquitous. Always the puns. So definitely check out that link in the chat right now. And in the meantime, we got some little bits of here and there news. Nothing too crazy, I believe. All right. Let's see. So first bit of news, probably the biggest bit of news really for the week is at least solid news. Nintendo is removing Mario Kart Tour's Gacha system. That's out of nowhere.
The first take I saw on that, because I read about that and I was surprised, and then someone pointed out that Gacha's kind of not the way to go compared to like doing the Fortnite store with limited time items, and just cycling those and capitalizing on FOMO that way instead of via pulls now seems to be the way that makes more money.
I did not know that.
I think they're replacing it with a store, or they're updating their store or something.
Yes.
It seems like it's going to be the same thing, just now you pay a la carte for what you want.
Yeah, it's called the Spotlight Shop system. And as they said, it looks similarly to Fortnite Spotlight Shops, which only features a few things to buy at a time, and keep checking it and buy the things you want. And with some of the costumes and stuff they've come out with, I can see people really falling for this. It's like, hey, and it feels better than doing the gotcha pulls. It's like, oh crap, I didn't get what I wanted. I spent this money and I didn't get it. So, hey, now you can actually get what you want. So there's some nice bits here. Although, as people point out, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled had this system as well, and most people thought it was ruined it. However, it did not have that at first. And I think that's what ruined it, is it didn't start with those aspects, and then it added them in. And I think that's what soured people.
So I think the store, I did a video on this when it first came out. I think the store existed, but it didn't exist in the exact form. It was that the season structure afterwards was what introduced like a modified version of the Crash Team Racing store. That did ruin the game for me, so I'm expecting... I don't play Mario Kart Tour, but it's, it's a shitty practice for a game we already knew had shitty practices. I can't say I expected much worse than that. And it's probably also, now that I'm thinking about it, to avoid... I think the EU is pushing through some gaming anti-gambling laws.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that Gacha is kind of in the targets of that. So we're gonna see the Fortnite storefront and everything.
Oh yeah, time for a new tactic, and here's our way to making that money. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't play Mario Kart Tour either. The only thing I'm kind of jealous of from it is honestly, I wish these costumes would be in Mario Kart because they are a lot of fun. Some good designs in there. Plus, they have like characters that would be really nice to have in Mario Kart, like Pauline, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong. You know, there's good stuff in there that would be nice to play, but it's stuck in Tour.
Yeah, don't worry, Mario Kart 9 will do it
in 4 years or however long it takes.
Yeah, they're gonna fall to the dark side. It'll happen.
Oh, it totally will. I have to imagine. I don't think they've made as much money as Fire Emblem Heroes, but I
don't think so either. No, I'm thinking.
I think Fire Emblem Heroes is definitely their biggest moneymaker.
Yeah.
But that has waifus in it, and Nintendo's limited to 4 that they can really pull from. We got Rosalina, we got Pauline, we got Peach, and we got Daisy.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll get Pink Gold Beach Peach coming soon. She's in a bikini or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's how we do it. Well, Pokemon Go, obviously. Masters EX though. I don't think Masters did as well as Fire Emblem. I think it did okay. It's
okay. Yeah.
Hanging in there, but
yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, on one hand, I'm always happy to hear that Gacha's gone. On the other hand, it's just like, well, here's another way to get your money from you. I guess you get to pick what you want, but
yeah, it's like I said, I'm not surprised. I played Mario Kart Tour for like one race and then deleted it immediately. I was like, no, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, not really all that necessary. Before moving on to the next news topic, though, we did get some more super chats. First up is RecBCQ with $5. Thank you so much. Saying, I just beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Chapter 4 and holy shiitake mushrooms, this game is so fudging good. Scream. I've heard that. I keep hearing that, and I am so nervous about spoilers. I've seen the big boss battle in Chapter 2 because Amy's been streaming it, and I've joined her for her streams. So I was there with her when she encountered the boss of Chapter 2 is still not over, but the boss of Chapter 2, those moments. And I was like, my God, because it can legit floor you, and that's what I love Xenoblade for. So that's nice. Yeah, I can't wait to get to it. Looking forward to that. And then Jackomon with €20 saying, currently drunk, decided to give you guys a super chat to show my love for GVG. Well, thank you. You're a very generous drunk.
Drunk more often.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully you're having a good Friday. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. But back to the news. We talked about the iffy practices of Nintendo with the Mario Kart Tour. How are you feeling about PlayStation Plus, Kevin? Specifically, Premium.
So full disclosure, Sony upgraded me to Premium for free, as they did with a bunch of creators. I was on the list that they were just like, hey, you want free PS Plus? And I said, of course. So full disclaimer, that's the thing. I haven't minded it so far. It's fine. I think the actual service of like the Game Pass version of PS Plus, the full premium one, is actually a pretty good deal. It's like $100 or maybe $120 for pretty much every PS4 game that like is of value from a first party level from Sony, as well as like every Assassin's Creed game, etc., etc. The retro library is okay. It's about what I expected. I think slowly but surely they'll trickle in a couple more here and there, but I think people got their hopes up too much on that, knowing how Sony's been.
I didn't upgrade. I'm still at the base set because I wanted to see how it was, because ostensibly I'm interested in the classic PlayStation lineup and what they can pull from there. There's a lot of potential, but I think this is the first time they've updated it since it launched.
They were doing there were more updates. This is the first classic game update. So they were doing the thing that they said they were going to do since June, which was they would do a main series of PS Plus games, and then mid-month they would add more games to the collection. Okay. And so in August, I think it was Yakuza, like every Yakuza game got bumped up, as well as a few others. on top of the usual 2 games a month that they give away for everybody on PS Plus. This is the first time they've done any of the retro library stuff, but that's sort of disingenuous because they were like, hey, look, Sly Cooper's coming just in time for the 20th anniversary. They took it off of PS Plus, PS Now, right before the service went to the new PS Plus. It was on PS Now until then. They took it off to then put it on now because Sly fans, all 5 of them, wanted something. I'm one of them. Don't get mad at me. There are 5 of us.
I like Sly. I really enjoy Sly.
I really like Sly too. Like Sly's like the best of the 3 from like my critical lens of the 3 trinity of Ratchet, Jack, and Sly. Sly is like the best one. I like Ratchet more, but Sly's the best one. It's also the one that sold the worst consistently. So money where your mouth was 10 years ago. Sorry.
Hey, I remember only renting the first one and then actually buying the second 2. And I picked up Thieves in Time, but never actually played through it.
Thieves in Time gets a bad rap. I think people are coming around to it a little bit. It's I think it's better than 3. I think it's got story issues, but it was late era Sony. They did the late era Sony thing where they undercut their developer for PS3, late era PS3 Sony, excuse me.
Of course.
It happens. PlayStation All-Stars died so that all these other Smash games could live.
Yeah. I'm questioning the decision for Toy Story 3 on PlayStation PSP. That's an odd one.
Disney's been giving them a lot of games to just kind of throw up there, and like Toy Story 1's one of the PS1 games, or Toy Story 2 is one of the PS1 games.
Which I hear is a great game, I hear Toy Story 3 is a pretty good game. Kind of different, sort of the precursor to the Toy Box. That's why it's so weird to me that they chose the PSP version.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing they wanted another PSP game, and they were like, oh shit, how do we do that? Because there's only been 2 PSP games on the collection so far, I think.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So it'll trickle in with time, but I don't know how much time that's going to be.
Mm-hmm. So far from just my outside view, it seems like the PS Plus Extras might be the best value.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have a really good connection and you're close to a PS server facility or location, the PS3 streaming is not going to work super well for you. Like, I'm close enough to their New York servers, and my internet's good enough that when I did my Ratchet Crack in Time video and my Nexus videos, I streamed both of those games for comparison's sake to see how they held up for people that maybe didn't have a PS3 anymore, and they were remarkably good. The moment I tried anything PS4 and above, it went to shit. So, don't stream any of your PS4 or 5 games unless you have gigabit internet, seemingly. But yeah.
Oh well, but it's just one of those things, and I don't know. It's just I don't think this has hit the way they've hoped. It is no Game Pass, I feel.
Yeah. I will say, in fairness, Game Pass took a while to become Game Pass.
True.
And I think I say this as a Game Pass lover. I think Game Pass has devalued the video game in a way that's going to be very bad in a number of years.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Like, look at every first-party Microsoft game that's come out since 2018, essentially. Most of them have been unfinished. They're releasing games that are worth $10 a month. They are not releasing games that are worth a full-price purchase. And that makes sense when you're paying only, let's say $15 a month for PS Plus, for Game Pass Ultimate. Like, that's fair to that extent, but like Halo Infinite is a disaster.
Oh yeah, they've announced that they're getting rid of split screen. They're no longer doing split screen co-op. A big promise they had, and that's gone. It's like, oh wow,
it's
good job.
Like, the indies that come on Game Pass, Game Pass creates a wonderful service. Does a wonderful service to the community in terms of outright paying for indie developers' production costs, because that's what Game Pass seems to be doing, according to every on the record thing we've been able to hear from indie developers and publishers, is that they can't say how much they're making from it, but they can say that if you put your game on Game Pass, Microsoft will pay for the cost of production of your game. So that's a big deal, and it means that every game is profitable immediately that is on Game Pass. Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing, but there's the point at which you see Netflix raise its prices. There's the point at which there's a backlash, and whenever that comes, I think it's going to hurt more than it helps. And that's to say nothing. I'm sorry about PS Plus itself. Game Pass is still better.
Game Pass is still better, but there's issues in the future that can be easily seen.
Yeah, and that's always been a concern I've had, is that people are already up in arms when games are not the value they think they should be. Like, not to go back to Ratchet, but like that's a common one, was that Rift Apart. People were like, it's too short to be a $70 game. It's the longest Ratchet and Clank game.
Yeah,
you play that game, it is 9 to 10 hours the first time through. Every other Ratchet game, 8 to 9. It may not be much longer, but it's the longest one.
And there's Ratchet and Clank always has a ton of replay value.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get your money's worth out of that game, you can definitely get your money's worth out of that game.
Yeah. And so it's one of those where the fact that people are already chomping at the bit, essentially, to find issues with the price of games versus the length value, like that weird.
That was gone for a while. I felt like we're back into the PS2 era where they had to tout like over 100 hours of gameplay. No, don't do that. I don't need that anymore.
Yeah, like it's quality over quantity. And that was why I was concerned about Xenoblade 3 at first, when people were saying, oh, it's like 100 hours. And then I was like, oh, I hope not. And then people came to their senses and said, oh, it's more like 50. And I'm cool with 50.
Yeah. I think the people that were saying that long were doing all the side quests, which granted, from what I hear, the side quests are quite addictive.
I really like the side quest stuff in Xenoblade 3.
Yeah.
So I never finished 2. I did finish 1 finally, before 3 came out. I finished Torna, but that was the first one I actually beat, even though I played 1 first. But they're very Torna-esque side quests, in that they feel substantial and tied to the themes of the game's story in a way that like Xenoblade 1's kind of didn't, and Xenoblade 2's did, but they were so long and circuitous.
Yeah,
it wasn't really wasn't fun to do those.
You can kind of see how they've gradually improved things with each one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice to see.
Yeah, but anyway, PS Plus sucks. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, what's your feeling on Konami? We're not going to spend too long on this one, but Konami is saying at TGS they're going to have a new title for a World Love series. What could that be? And apparently there's rumors saying it's not Metal Gear, it's not Silent Hill, it's not Castlevania.
Bomberman. I'm sticking with Bomberman.
We know there's a new. We know Super Bomberman R2 is coming.
But there's going to be another one.
Oh, another
It's going to be Ultra Bomberman R.
There we go. Perfect.
It could be Yu-Gi-Oh.
I mean, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh because they've announced 4 Yu-Gi-Oh games.
That's fair. Okay. But what if it's Yu-Gi-Oh Survive?
Oh, now we're talking. That's the thing. What is World Love for that? So
I'm trying to think of what else.
I mean, people were saying apparently Moon Rhoda is Spawn Wave is saying that it was MG as a remake of Metal Gear Solid. Could be that. I mean, it could be throwing people off. But yeah, I thought they said it wasn't MGS.
It'll be interesting to see, but also I don't know. Most Tokyo Game Show reveals nowadays are kind of just there, so I'm not going to get too hyped for it.
I mean, that was pretty much the one in Germany just happened.
Gamescom.
That's it. It's like
No, I was surprised people were like I know you guys actually live stream Gamescom, and I was like in my head I was like I'm surprised people are like hyped about Gamescom because it's never good.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
we were like it might have something. It was the Gamescom stuff with the typical Game Awards presentation. It's like, oh well,
great, the best of both worlds. The game I was going to think of that just popped in my head for beloved Konami franchise. It's not Metal Gear Solid. It's Metal Gear Rising.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
We're gonna hit with Metal Gear Rising 2. Probably not, but if
probably
they do,
not. But that'd be so good to let.
It'd be just the game. It'd be just the game for them to drop suddenly.
Mm-hmm. Although with Bayonetta 3 coming out, Platinum Games against itself, kinda. Although maybe it's for next year. I don't know if it'll be ready.
Yeah,
so soon.
I don't think you'd announce a game in September and then drop it this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I feel like that's like a spring game then.
Yeah, yeah. If it's a world love series, it has to be MGS, Silent Hill, or Castlevania. Those are the big ones for Konami that I can think of, because people love Goemon, of course, but that's not. I don't think that's huge.
I can't think of anything else besides, like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh would be the other one. But if they're already doing a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, then
yep, we'll see. We'll see if it's anything. I mean, the treasure thing ended up leaking and being the very obvious Radiant Silver gun. It's like, okay, yeah, of course they're doing that one.
Yeah.
So, oh well. And finally, the last bit of news we'll talk about this week is we got a new Pokemon, Grafaifi. I have a nature documentary style reveal for it. Thankfully, we didn't have to wait 24 hours to see it like they did last time for Sword and Shield. That was that was something. And it is unique in the way that it's the first time we've had a poison normal type. So nice to see some typings that we've not had before.
Okay. I'll admit I haven't been following Pokemon Scarlet and Violet whatsoever. I've kind of like heard through osmosis from friends being like, "Oh, there's this new thing," and I'm like, "Cool, I'll buy it." I don't know. Like,
yeah,
it's nothing against Pokemon at this point, but I don't know. It's I don't think it's for me anymore. So
I can see that.
Cool.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious about it. I like the directions they're taking with it, but I'm just sort of in stasis right now, just waiting.
Yeah. Like I know, like all the things they're doing are things that I've heard, at least, are things that I like conceptually, and then I'm like, yeah, but they only had like a year and a half to make this again. So, what's the catch? And like, the catch for like, oh, it's an open world Pokemon game is that the gyms are gonna still be seemingly set level. So like, you can do them in whatever order you want, but like, I knew from the start they weren't gonna make 9 permutations of each gym, for whatever level set you go into it as, So it runs into that Link Between Worlds problem where I know a lot of people like that game. I didn't love it because every dungeon was the first dungeon, so they were all easy. And
fair.
So it kind of
I thought the creativity helped it a lot, but
it did.
I understand that complaint, but the creativity was enough, and we'll see. There's potential here. It definitely seems to be trying that more open stuff. To me, Pokemon's always iterative. You got to be patient with it to get to the real.
Exactly.
Good stuff for you to really appreciate. I don't know.
That was why I skipped Sword and Shield was, the next ones will be better. And then I'm looking at these, and from what I've seen, they're going to be a lot better. But I could just wait until 2 years from now, and they have an even better one. And then I'll be like, there's the one I want. I meant to buy Arceus, and I never did. Or Arceus, I don't care.
Yeah.
I meant to buy that, and I just never did. And that was the one that I think would be most for me.
Probably. That is a really good one. That's definitely one of the best ones they've had in a while.
Yeah.
And we'll see if this is able to pull anything from that. It seems to be leaning more traditional, which is fine. But yeah, the eyes creep me out for this new thing. Otherwise, design is cool. The typing's cool. I've already seen people point out how, since it only has 3 fingers, it's constantly flicking everybody off because its middle finger is the one that's extended, with it being a painter.
No, correct me if I'm wrong on type composition. If it's a normal poison, isn't that 4 times weak to fighting? Isn't fighting strong against poison? Or am I getting mixed up?
I don't think fighting strong against poison. So no, I think it gets rid of it.
Scratch that then.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of what the like that's a unique type comp, and I'm trying to think of what the catch is, because there's always going to be a drawback to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
neutral against fighting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There's that.
I think it's I think
it's poison resist fighting. Okay, I have it backwards.
Backwards. That happens sometimes. There's a lot.
There we go. Yeah. I haven't played mainline Pokemon since Sun and Moon, and I hadn't played anything before that since Sinnoh. So.
Oh, you skipped Gen 5. You poor thing.
I think we talked about this on one of the prior podcasts I was on. I'll go to them eventually. I'll go back to them, but I was annoyed at the time at the insistence of part 1 of Gen 5 in doing here's 150 new Pokemon, you must use these. Because the way I always played Pokemon personally was I would have one reliable like safety net Pokemon from an old gen, and then I would collect all new ones from there. And so pulling the safety net away from me when I was younger, obviously, it just kind of bothered me. And so I was like, well, screw you guys. I'll stick with Platinum, and I'll just keep playing that because I like that one. And then by the time Black and White 2 came out, I didn't really care anymore. So I was like, I'll play them eventually, but I'm not going to spend full price on them when I don't have a job yet because I'm still a kid. So
yeah, it's fair enough. I appreciated being forced to try out the new Pokemon. It felt nice to get it and go into a cave and not be bombarded with Geodude and Zubat. At the time.
And I like that front of it, but the other side of it that I didn't really like. I don't know. I'm always annoyed when there's a new Pidgey because you can just keep Pidgey. Like, we don't need you to like go out of your way to design a new Pidgey when you could use that time to design a new Pokemon that's not Pidgey.
Yeah, they have certain roles. And that's the funny thing. I say that we don't have Zubat and Geodude all the time. No, instead we have Roggenrola and the other bat. So.
Yeah, and it's like I get it because there's like I think 10,000 species of bats, so like there should be more, but this is a fictional world. I don't care that much. Like, be more creative. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yep, it's just the way it is. But we'll see what comes of this. I'm cautiously optimistic for Scarlet and Violet. I think it has some interesting things going for it. Might work out. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much all the news for this week. Nothing too crazy, and we can switch over to our Patreon topics, and because I don't believe there's been any more super chats. Nope.
Pull that one.
All good. And Kevin, do you want to start us out?
Sure. I'll do one that's topical, actually.
Okay.
If you could choose, this is from Young Ben Kenobi. If you could choose any game to be translated into another medium, movie, TV show, anime, book, etc., which would you choose, and which medium would you make it? This already exists, but there hasn't been a truly good one. An Avatar: The Last Airbender video game that is good.
Yeah.
Like, Korra was fine. I know people hated Korra's game. I thought it was okay. All the other mainline Avatar games have been super mid, and that's such a rich series that should have easily had one good game, and they've never quite hit the mark. And I know there's that rumored new one, or that leaked new one that exists, that people were clickbaiting with. It has the Breath of the Wild art style, but it's a linear game, so it's not really Breath of the Wild. If that one's good, I'll be happy. Hi, camera. Hit the button again. Hi. If that one's good, I'll be happy. But until it is good, I'm going to say I want a good Avatar game.
It'd be cool to be able to explore the world of Avatar. And see some of the highlighted places, being able to go anywhere. But I think the problem with being able to go anywhere is, honestly, it almost has to be like DBZ Kakarot, because that was more
what I was going to suggest. Yeah,
specific spots. They're not open yet. You can see them on the map, but you can't go to them yet.
Yeah, and I don't even need an open world. Like, if it's like a mission based, like a good beat 'em up hack and slash game where you can actually like. Korra was cool because it was hack and slash. It was a Platinum game. It was one of their licensed games that they did back when they were like really struggling. The problem was you couldn't like combo between different elements, so you couldn't do any attacks where you comboed around between fire and then water and then air or whatever it might be. And that's all I need, is like where you are either the Avatar and you have all four, or you're somebody else and you. I don't care. Just make something good.
It'd be cool. You could swap between the three of them. You can swap between Aang, Korra, not Korra, Katara, and Sokka at any time.
Because that was kind of what the first Avatar game did, but that was like an action RPG kind of. Like, it was like still a beat 'em up, but it had very simple combat, and like I liked a lot of what that game did. But it was Katara, Aang, Sokka, and Haru actually was the fourth, because this was season 1.
No, right.
And they made their own story out of it, kind of. And it was okay, but then you couldn't really, once you got to the end of the game, it was over. There was no backtracking, even though there were collectibles, and it just kind of felt hollow by the end, even though the rest of it was good up until that point.
Yeah, I didn't play any of the Avatar games. The only thing sticks out in my mind about the Avatar games at that time is I think the third one was infamous for being really easy to get points.
That was the second one. Yes.
Second one, yes.
Yeah. The third one only came out on PS2 and Wii, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one for 360, you could just easily get it. So I think it was getting a lot of rentals just for people wanting the booster gamer score back when that mattered.
Yeah. That was a shame because that one was pretty okay too. That was the same kind of game generally, but that one just told book 2 in game form, more or less. So they had the different chapters based on the chapters of the show, relatively close to that.
Yeah.
And so that one seemed cool from the little bit I had played of that one too. But again, I don't know. There was nothing that like really stuck out as like as good as it could or should be.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what game into what medium would work well. And honestly, I'm looking through and I have my like library right here. It's like, what works for this? What reaches out to me? And I have not played it myself yet, but I've seen it and it generally looks good. And I think it might have the style for this, but Aardman animation tackling a medieval movie.
Okay.
I think like Aardman or what's the guys who made the Paranorman and stuff like that.
Yeah, I forget their names.
Leica, Studio Leica. Yeah. I think a stop motion medieval movie could actually do pretty well.
Yeah, I'm surprised that one hasn't gotten a bump, given that Sony's been going out of its way to license every fucking franchise out to something.
Even the ones that are dead. We're never going to get a Gravity Rush 3, but dang it, we're getting a movie.
I'm kind of okay with that one because, like, Gravity Rush, it's weird. From what I recall of Gravity Rush, the goal was always to make 2 games.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
That was my understanding, unless the creative director went back on his word and is now saying he wanted to do a 3. He's pretty much said there's no reason to do a 3rd game unless the hardware of the PS5 justifies it. Like if there was a new hardware gimmick that would justify a new Gravity Rush game. So I think an animated Gravity Rush like movie could actually be pretty good outside of the fact that no one speaks English in those games. They speak their own like weird French Japanese hybrid thing. But we can explain that away.
Yeah, it's that big deal.
Either way, like that game has a really cool visual style that really lend itself well to an animated like Trigger movie.
Oh yeah, Studio Trigger could do a good job with that.
Not that they're doing it. I don't know who's doing it, but
oh yeah, I have no idea. I think if anything, it's probably live action or something like that.
I think they said animated. I think they said that one was animated.
Oh, okay.
Unlike the Twisted Metal show on Peacock, I think or is it Hulu?
Is that what it's coming to? I see that going the way of Resident Evil on Netflix.
So they have Will Arnett as Sweet Tooth as Needles Kane.
Oh my
and
God.
Then the Sweet Tooth voice is goddamn Samoa Joe, the wrestler.
What?
Who he plays King Shark in the Suicide Squad game. So
really?
So he does voice acting.
Okay.
He's done a lot of voice acting actually.
See,
and
when you first said King Shark, I was thinking you were talking about the Harley Quinn show. I'm like, that's an interesting choice.
No, I mean, I don't think he's in the Harley Quinn show.
No, I don't think so. That's a very different voice.
But he got a really good voice to do Sweet Tooth. It's just weird that it's Will Arnett and Samoa Joe being Sweet Tooth in a Twisted Metal NBC show starring Anthony Mackie. Like, yeah. I don't.
Are they making Axel the lead?
They're making this new like John Doe persona. I think his name's actually fucking John Doe. Now that I think about it.
Of course.
So, I don't know. There's so many weird ones they're doing, and the Sly Show is still dead. So.
Yeah. I guess we do have. I Monte Cristo Smith reminds me of this. We got that Castlevania Rondo of Blood adaptation coming to Netflix. Same creators, I think. I'm curious about that one.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Especially with
the same creators as the Symphony of the Night show.
Yeah,
Castlevania 3 show, rather, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. But that one, I don't know how it's picking up after that, considering how the that one ended.
Yeah. I didn't finish the first run of shows. I got through. I loved season 1 when it first came out, and then I watched season 2, and then I didn't get as far as 3 or 4 yet.
I recommend them. 3's a little uneven, but 4 I think finishes strong.
Cool, that's good to know. So. I keep meaning to get to it, but I've been bad about watching any TV in the last like few months that's not now Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Man, watch those shows, people, if you haven't.
I've only seen like the first 3 episodes of Breaking Bad, so I didn't get a chance to go back to them.
Ooh, it's good, but hot take, I think Saul's better.
I've heard that.
The fact that you can debate that is the most incredible thing about either show, is that they made a show and prequel so compelling that they're 1 and 1A, no matter how you cut it. And
that's,
man,
I don't know how they do it. That's,
yeah.
Because I know Saul just ended, and I think it segue just perfectly into Breaking Bad with its ending.
So the vast majority of Saul is self-contained, and then the last non-specific number run of episodes starts intersecting very briefly with Breaking Bad, but it's mostly taking place after Breaking Bad with flashbacks to Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Yeah, they do it in a very interesting way, and they were able to end, like, Breaking Bad already had what people mostly consider a perfect ending. They were able to do an ending to this show that's on that level, but also acts as a good ending to the cinematic universe of Meth Man.
Meth Man. That's amazing.
So it's so impressive. That's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Well, we'll see what it comes down to, and see how that goes. But yeah, that's where I go. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There's some fun ones that could be adapted, but I don't know. A stop motion medieval, just something out there that people wouldn't expect. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll change my answer. Breaking Bad fighting game.
There you go.
Breaking Bad Better Call Saul fighting game.
And lead into Nobody.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be great.
All right. Well, for my topic, I chose just Eric's, and they said, "Hey GVG, what's a game that you skipped out on and now regret because it's very hard or expensive to come by? I'm learning now that I should have just bought the new 3DS when it came out because it's almost as much as a Switch at this moment."
Is it really?
Dear God, that's
wild,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
The one that always comes to my mind, and I'm just like, I can't believe I didn't buy this, because I was using GameFly at the time, so I just rented a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And God, I wish I had gotten Ghost Trick. I loved it so much, and it's, I played it, beat it, it's done, but now it's like, oh, I want to replay it. I can't do that because the game is so freaking rare. It's on phones, it's on mobile, but I don't want to play it on mobile. I want to play it on my 3DS or port it to the Switch. If it's on mobile, it can be on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, the one that comes to mind first, and I don't really care now, but there was a brief time where I wanted to collect all of the North American exclusive Wii U games. Because a Wii U collection, like, you can do that. I know people like Scott the Woz did that, I think. You can do it. I don't care enough to do it. But I wanted that collection of just the exclusives, because then I could whittle it down over time as more of them got ported to Switch. And the one that I don't have, there are 2 that I don't have that are the reason I haven't finished it, because I have almost all the rest. One is the Mario and Sonic 2016 Rio Olympic Games game, because it's on 3DS as well, but the Wii U version is a different game, so I count that separately. Sort of like how Mario Maker on 3DS is the same game as the Wii U one, except it's really bad. So the Wii U one it's an exclusive essentially. So there's that one that's like $100 plus nowadays. So that's the one that stopped me from outright going that far. The one that broke my spirit is Devil's Third, because I was on a really good run of waiting until the exact bottom out point of video games to buy them at the cheapest price. Like, I got Rodea for like $15.
Oh, nice.
And it was the whole Wii U Wii version that had everything. And then I saw Devil's Third for $20 on like Amazon or something like that, and I was like, oh no, it'll go down further in price. It'll go down a little bit more. I'll get it for like 15. It immediately went up to 70. So I can't bring myself to do it because I don't care enough. My Wii U's hacked. I can play it if I wanted to.
That kind of reminds me of I didn't pick up. I only rented Other M, but then I saw it in like a Dollar General for $2. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I don't know how much it's worth now, but it makes me wonder. It's like, has with these like GameCube, Wii, and Wii U games starting to get more expensive, I wonder if Other M will go up in price.
From what I recall, because I looked this up when I did the Other M documentary, I think it was still only $10 or $15. It is like the Wii U or the Wii game that just will not go up in price.
No,
because they made so many copies and it's Other M.
Yeah, it bombed.
Yeah.
According to Helen in the live audience, apparently it was Game Grumps effect that had the Devil's Third go up. Because I do remember when I saw their playthroughs, like they did make that game seem funny at the very least. But
yeah. Well, now I know who to blame.
Damn. There you go.
Here's a good one that I bought that I will not regret, which was there was a deal on Video Games Plus, the Canadian game store, a couple weeks back for Persona Q and Q2. They were both half off MSRP. So I got both of them for, I think, $60 combined. The second game, Q2, goes for $70 already.
I have physical of the first game. I have digital of the second. It's just because I was sent a copy. But I have it. It's digital.
Yeah. Yeah, getting this is going to be the most first world problem we can have. Getting free games has ruined my desire to collect games because, man, like I still don't own a physical of Ripped Apart. I just can't bring myself to spend $40 on a game I own, even though it's a franchise that like I should have a copy of it. I'm gonna wait.
It worked for me. I did buy my own copy mainly because the code we got for whatever reason, Sony immediately put it on to. I didn't realize they could do this. Have they done this to you? They would just install games like, hey, here you go. Here's the game. Just install it for you.
No, I think Steve told me about that the one time. He mentioned that. And his console, right?
Yeah, they just installed it rather than give them the code. Yeah. It's just like, here you go. Here's Rift Apart on your PS5. And it's like, but it's for Derrick. So I had to play off his profile in order to do that review. And it was like, well, time for me to and it was like, well, I guess I have an excuse to get physical of Rift Apart.
That's weird. I mean, I know like you guys have a different contact point than like I still have the influencer contact point. Here's some behind the scenes for you guys. So like I'm assuming that's probably why is that like they know his account more
that
closely maybe or something, or they didn't think it through. For me, they still just do like normally it's right after reviews go out. They're like, all right, now you influencer peons can get your live stream copies of the game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like I had to do Horizon on like a 3-day lead time. So that was fun.
Yeah. I prefer physical myself, even though it's just a box at this point, but but I like that box. I like seeing that box on my shelf. I'm weird like that because I'm old school, but
the special edition. Oh God.
I was just going to say that because of getting code copies early, I got sent codes because it's just easier than sending physical. So that ruined my physical collecting because again, it's like, why am I going to buy this twice?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I've been. Like I even with like The Last of Us, I mean, I was never going to buy The Last of Us remake at full price anyway. I would have bought that for like $10, but it's going to be on PS Plus Extra at some point.
Oh yeah.
Like it's going to come to that service eventually. So I had never planned on buying it. So it was cool that they sent me a copy to review. But I saw like people were really upset about the special edition. I was at first too, because it's $100 special edition of a $60 game that's now $70 that doesn't have the multiplayer of the original game, so there's technically less content, and the stuff they were giving you was all digital goods early. So it was like you can get gun skins early. The thing I didn't realize is that special edition comes with the 4 Last of Us comics lumped in, like a physical copy of all 4 comics with like a new cover art or whatever. And so once I saw that, I was like, oh, that's kind of worth $100 if you like The Last of Us. Like that's pretty fair. Those comics go for like probably $20. Mm-hmm. So I get it, but yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. So
no, like, I have no interest in that. Honestly, the game that came out that I'm the most like side eyeing, like if I had the money, the Turtles collection, because that's pure nostalgia right there.
Yeah. Yeah, is that on Game Pass too, or is that one's not on Game Pass?
No, that one's not on Game Pass. I played Shredder's Revenge through Game Pass, but
but
the Cowabunga collection. It's like I I played the 3 Turtles games on NES. I had the Game Boy game and the Tournament Fighters. So I had 5 of those, like 14 games. So there's a lot of games in there I've never tried before. It's like, you know what?
Yeah. Well, and it's only, I saw it go for like $30 already.
Is it down to 30 already? I saw I think it's supposed to be 40. So
it was a launch at 40, and then I think I saw some retailer had it on sale for 30. I think it was Wario64. One of those Twitter accounts tweeted it. And I saw that and I was like, that's not a bad deal. And I'm remembering now that you say it that there's like 14 games on there. Like, that's a really good deal. I've never been a huge Turtles guy. So,
okay.
Like, I would like to pick that up one day because I liked Turtle Shredder's Revenge, the new one. I enjoyed that game from what I played of it. But I'm just glad beat 'em ups are back. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
There's a lot of really good beat 'em ups. Hey, 4-player for River City Girls 2. That's awesome.
Yeah. I forgot that game was coming out. Shit.
They've been saying it's been coming for so long. And it's amazing to me. We don't have a release date yet. It's like, when is this thing coming?
Did 0 come out before 2? Is 0 out already?
Yeah, 0's out already. 0 came out initially for Switch, and now it's finally coming out for other systems. But yeah, it's out.
Okay. Yeah. That checks out. That makes sense.
But yeah, Konami's really good at their compilations right now. Castlevania, Contra.
What if Turtles game?
Yeah, that's all their Turtles games. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, what if the game they're going to announce is another Turtles game?
Ooh, that'd be something, especially after Shredder's Revenge.
Because there was that 3D one that they made like 5-6 years back.
From Platinum, that was.
Yeah, like that was another one of those Platinum, like, they need the money games.
Yeah.
So what if they're doing a 3D Turtles game?
That'd be cool. It might have potential. I mean, Rise of TMNT had some great, visuals to it, so could see it. Man, have you seen the docs and stuff in that Turtles collection? Like,
is that the one that comes with like the full, like the manuals for each game, like fully readable?
They have they've made new manuals to sort of update. Plus, they have the classic manuals. They have the Japanese manuals in there. They have design documents in there. Like,
that's so cool.
I think they even have stuff like announcement sheets. Like, here's the new Turtles game going out to media type stuff. Which,
maybe that's what I saw. Again, it's all over Twitter. Maybe that's why I saw something about the Turtles. That makes sense. That's nuts. I like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that before from a collection where it's just like, here's the announcement stuff, and they have old ads and things like that. Stills from every single one of the Turtles cartoons out there.
I'm gonna have to buy that now. Damn, because like the history nerd in me is gonna want that more than anything else.
Right.
I don't care if I play the games. Like, shit.
There's some good games in there, though, I will say.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the whole run of the main, like, the Turtles 1 through 4, right? The beat 'em ups.
Yeah, you get both the both arcade games, so original and Turtles in Time. You get the 3 Turtles NES games, which the first one is the infamous one. The second one is an adaptation of the arcade one. Third one is an original beat 'em up. Then you get Turtles in Time SNES, Hyperstone Heist on Genesis, which is basically just kind of a remixed, reskinned version of Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
Then you get Tournament Fighters, which is their fighting game, and it has all unique things for SNES, Genesis, and Nintendo classic NES.
Oh, I'm remembering this now. Yeah. People were like, why is that there multiple times? And it's because they're completely different games. Yeah.
And then the 3 Game Boy games.
Okay.
The third of which I didn't even realize this. The third Turtles game on Game Boy is a Metroidvania. Yeah.
That's wild. Is it more Metroidy than Metroid 2?
I mean, you get a map.
Okay, so it's more Metroidy than Metroid 2.
Yeah. I mean, you have a map, they have cheat codes and stuff like that. They have a thing for the original NES game that gets rid of the slowdown. You can preserve the slowdown or get rid of it completely. And
I think Kunio-kun did that as well. I think Kunio-kun, when they did that collection, they got rid of the screen flicker if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could get rid of the screen flicker as well.
Yeah, because that was another really good collection that I really enjoyed.
And yeah, that was, I mean, it's a really cool collection, especially as somebody who grew up on those Turtles. So it's like, it's tempting. That's very tempting.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great deal even for 40. Damn. I have to pick that up just for I want to read those docs now. Damn it. Damn you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I shouldn't
figure it out.
I guess I shouldn't tempt you anymore. But so before we end this off, beautiful Ed with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Asking, are y'all interested in getting the Evercade XP? What is the Evercade?
The Evercade was that, I think is that the handheld one or the console one? It's a little like retro-esque device that I think, is that the cartridge one where they come with cartridges? I forget.
I guess so. It's the newest handheld retro from the makers of Evercade.
Yes, this is the one that I think it comes with like preloaded games, and then I think there's cartridges that you put in. You can buy like bulk cartridges that come with different games on them.
Oh, okay.
So that you can still have physical media, I think.
Oh, it's one of those where it's like can you put your own cartridges in? Kind of like, what was that came out how long ago that you could emulate, but also put in your original cartridges?
I think the analog was the one.
Yes, that's it. You don't hear about that anymore, though.
They haven't shipped many of them, I think is why.
Ooh,
they've been struggling to ship those. To answer the question, I'm probably not going to, because I've been jaded by collecting retro physical media, because it's too expensive. You're not paying the developer or the publisher anyway, and I have a 3070 on my computer, so I can, like, my computer's good. I can do anything up until like 360, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I've gotten jaded ever since I got this computer.
This is the first I've ever heard of it, and not really seeing it, but I will say the retro stuff that I am interested in is the that Genesis Mini 2. That's looking interesting.
That did tempt me a little bit. But
Yeah.
I didn't buy the first Genesis Mini because, again, like, it'd be cool, but I don't really need it. So.
Yeah, and I feel you. All right, well, I think with that, that's pretty much all we have for today. It's a bit longer just because we got on that Turtles topic. But
no matter what, if I'm on one of these, we will go long. It's going to happen. We've accepted it at this point.
It just happens. That's all right. But thank you all so much for joining us. And Kevin, where can everybody find you at?
So you guys can find me at youtube.com/thegoldenbolt, twitter.com/thegoldenbolt, that sort of stuff. I make entertaining, hopefully informative videos on different game franchises. I just did Ratchet and Clank. I finished up my series run of Ratchet and Clank, as I call them, the ultimate retrospectives on those games, with development history, developer interviews, that sort of thing. And I'm working on a bunch of random stuff now before I decided to commit to another mainline series. So I'll give you a little teaser for a video I haven't even told my followers about yet. The Game Freak game published by Sony for the SNES. One of the first games Game Freak ever made.
I think I know that one. I think John actually recently talked about it, and just briefly going over the who owns Pokemon in his video.
I didn't watch that one yet because I was afraid that it might taint what I was going to say anyway. So
he doesn't go on to it. I think he just says they made this. And that's all it is. So you don't have to worry about that.
So then I'll have to watch that to go in. But yeah, there's that game. There's a sequel, and then there's a Game Freak game on the PlayStation, which has creatures that look like what early beta Pokemon would have looked like before they finalized designs in the early games.
That's amazing.
So it's going to be one of those weird, random, here's some history you didn't know about stuff that I like to do, like how Dig Dug is canonically divorced.
Yeah, deadbeat dad.
Yeah, he's a shitty father. So if that sounds cool to you, hit the subscribe button over there. I put out stuff pretty frequently, and I think I'm nearing the funny number of subscribers. I think I'm at like almost 68,900 something, so I'm almost at the funny number. So, yeah, so that'll happen probably tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So highly recommend, definitely check that out. And otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. And of course, as always, just an extra special thank you to our patrons, big and small. It really does mean a lot to have all of your support. And of course, an extra special thank you to our patrons at the producer tier. Sorry for the low. I don't have a 2-person setup for this screen, so we're just sort of winging it here. Not on screen for this one, but thank you all so much for those who support us at the producer tier. The show would not happen without all of your help. It does mean a lot. And of course, an extra special thank you to everyone at our executive producer tier and above. And there's a lot of you. It's amazing how much this has grown. Thank you all. And let's just run them down because all of you are wonderful. I mean, that's just in general, but just a little extra to these guys because of that. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, thank you all to Brandon Bovia, Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Dan Inchwhistle, Z Patty, Just Brian, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, Christopher Baque, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Critter XD, Kitty Kong Fax, Angel Martinez, Vedran Hotik, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Azran127, Black King, Pagrama, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Brady Power, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Killamox, Eddie B, Kit Fisto, Jessica Toad, Deaneth, Sci-Fi Lullabies, Michael McCall, Nope, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Too Much Spaghetti, Akil P, Askron809, Rioner, Nathan Steele, Spicy Pandotter, Rain and Clouds, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, Rosa Pardo Bowling. Hi, Steve's mom. Mega Amster, Kane Woolley, Darksteel01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Dinner Sonic, Derrick, Nova the Artist, Colin, Blaystar 25, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Screamo Shaman, Mason Riley, Keel, Willow Pingree, Moon Knight, Ray Clausen, Brendan Hess, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Ryan's Fault, Brainchild, Pat Pending, Jim Wakelin, Lauren Bond, Longboy Shiggy, Andy Mine P, Ad, Kyle the Monarch, Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Kyle Gamer and Barry Rookie, Jay Brox, Salad Dinner, Revolver Axolot, Datboy64, Blaze Collard, Eric, Danielle Crowder, Alex Westover, Cat Evie Person 5, and Lady Maxillary. Thank you all so much for all of your support. Really does mean a lot. Sorry that I'm missing some certain things like the promoter pet. I'm just not quite set up for those, but I make do and try to entertain anyway, and just means a lot to have all you here. Thank you all so much. But yeah, thank you, Kevin, for that. Oh goodness. But yes, everyone, thank you so much, and you all have a fantastic night, and I guess we'll see you next Friday for our next GVG cast number 25. Till then, everyone.
And I went off at the right time.
Yep, perfect. Bye.
Beautiful.
Bye, everyone.